Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're talking about your month of February 2026. And I can see a lot of change coming through that's exciting and surprising connected to your career, work, and money story. We're going to break it down, but there's a lot of other things happening. If I have to give you one or two keywords here, surprise, surprise, surprise. Okay, unexpected developments courtesy of 4 hits to Uranus by various planets, but also an eclipse. And a solar eclipse is going to bring change of a magnitude and shift in your reality that goes back to things that were going on in your life 2008, 2009, and 1998 to 1990. Sorry, 1989 to 1991. So this is like really something that is a rare cycle, and it really activates that career space for you. That is where the change is happening. I don't know what to say. It could be a change of job, a change of career, whole life path change. We'll break it down. We're going to talk about the month ahead, week by week today. So get a pen and paper, settle in, and let me show you the chart. I like to spin the wheel as we go so you can see what's happening as various beautiful things form in the sky, including the rainbow and unicorn mini grand trine. I gotta say, I do love that. So let me grab the sky for you and bring it into focus. If I seem like I'm a little scattered, it's just because the software is making me crazy. Crazy. Yes. Don't ask. I don't even know why it does this. You'll have to look at my messy desktop. Let's see how fast I can get rid of it. Now, this is your story. Taurus, you are the sign on the left. If you're listening for your sun sign, Madame Tauruses, you're talking about career and purpose and your deep soul essence, a true you. Whereas the rising sign is your simulation avatar in the game of life, but represents the I amness of you and the character's simulation character. And a lot of changes are circumstantially active by listening for your ascendant or rising sign. Moon, it's your home, your nest, your mother, your emotions. Okay. So listen for all three. Let me know how it goes. But I'd say for sure your sun and rising can be useful. Well, let's start off with the basics. As you know, as the month starts, we have a half-ass stellium here. It's quite massive. It's quite rare. This stellium is like 1994, same time of year. So it's very uncommon. And this important stellium in this part of your chart began in the month of January, which is where I've cued us. Okay, so I'm now going to move us forward, and you're going to notice that we're going to get into the month ahead. And as we begin February, you still have a stellium here. Goodness gracious. So this is indicating to me that you're still really focused on the career story, that you really began to activate January 23rd all the way through. The stellium doesn't really kind of filter down to hardly anything until about the middle of the month. So you're probably bringing some kind of career focus from the last week of January, the 23rd especially, into the middle of, January 23rd to the middle of February, where everything about your reality is focused on career. And while this is similar to 1994, Pluto wasn't here back then, nor were there eclipses coming through your 10th house. I'll keep it simple. One thing I can say about the month ahead is you're going to make some changes to your career, your job, the earnings, the way you make money. There may be radical changes to your reputation. I'm married, I'm divorced, I'm separated, I'm widowed. I'm employed. I'm on, like the way people see you, the way you can check off boxes on the form about who you are. So there's big shifts up there. It's pretty exciting. And there's also a lot of change. That's because of Uranus squaring from your sign. And we'll break it down in the bitty bits and pieces, but just know, I don't know how else to interpret it. Like third week of January until the middle of February, particularly when that stellium's still holding strong, you have a lot of career activation. And because Venus is the ruler of your 6th house of work and service and job, and she's up there, it's definitely about your career. And Mercury rules your money, earnings, and resources. And that creates a beautiful Artha energy, which is the energy of material success, work, money, and prosperity. And that's a high focus level for you. Okay. There's no two ways about it. And certainly the money thing connected to career, it's going to be hyper focused for you, as you see this stellium here, until about the 7th of February, because Mercury is going to then move on. So it's even that first week of February where you seem to be intensely focused on money and career as well. This is not a bad time in the first week of February, to apply, even the last week of January, apply for new jobs, ask for a promotion or raise, get one anyway if you didn't ask for it. be up level to some new corner office with all the views. Just find yourself moving on up, like the old moving on up to the big time, that show from the 70s, whatever it was called, the Jeffersons. And I'll try to sing it, moving on up to the big time, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Well, you're moving on up, but it's in your career, not an apartment. Okay. But you could move into a new apartment as well. Venus owns a house of rental. So moving to a new apartment could happen, but more so moving up in your career. Now, on February the 1st, there's a full moon in Leo. See the moon? Completion, endings, fulfillments, home. It could indicate that you're going to change your home. Usually any kind of lunation will give you the most, this is what this means within a month, right? So until the next full moon. So between February 1st and March 1st, you might move to a new home, right? You might fulfill a desire to do that. You might change your home. You might complete your home, that kind of energy. And there's a spotlight in the home. A big full light is shining. You're spending a lot of time focused on your domestic life, even though there's a lot of energy in your career space. You got a lot going on all at once. And a full moon can also, you could say to yourself, you planted the seed for the move or the change of home, if that's going to happen over the course of whenever, 6 months earlier on a new moon. And I do want to say one more thing about this lunation, right? It could be a change of home connected to career and money and earnings stories. Okay. Rather than just, I feel like I need to move. That's a strong energy here. And for some of you with Mars at the top of the sky, also a change of home connected to your long-term committed love relationship partnership and, mutual decisions to move, or even if you had a breakup, you could be moving because of that. Now, on February the 4th, Uranus will head direct, and Uranus direct is subtle. It's like it's like the Titanic is changing direction. It's very, slow, not an overnight success or anything, but there's a change of direction of a planet that's been in your sign since 2018. Hello. And you have been, Taurus sun, radical ups and downs and radical shifts and changes and disruptions in your career, Taurus moon in your home life, and Taurus rising in your identity. So up and down, up and down. And now Uranus is heading direct and leaving April 26th. You won't see this again. He'll be gone for 80 years, right? So on April 26th, it's over. So I will give you some advice from February the 4th, when he heads direct, until the third week of April. You have this clarity of direction about career, Taurus sun, home life and where you want to live, Taurus moon, and Taurus rising, about who you wish to be in this world. And now you're moving in direct motion and you know what you want. But he's stationed direct on a difficult star called Algol, a star of decapitation, losing one's head. Do not lose your head. Do not lose your shit, so to speak, on February 4th. On that day in particular, 3rd, 4th, 5th, watch out that you don't blow out on something, okay? Quit your job, Taurus sun. Run away from home, Taurus moon. Taurus rising, lose your shit at a situation or person, something in your life. Okay, so I'm giving you a warning. I don't know two ways about it. You could, tell your boss to F off. You could scream at your dad. You could, quit your partner, run away from home. So much can go on under the sky. So I'm giving you a warning to be careful on that date. This is where you have to keep your head on your head. Keep it all together a little bit, please. Okay. As we move forward and we talk about February 5th, we get the first of 4 squares to Uranus, which is why I talk about this being expect the unexpected month, as well as destined change with the eclipses. So here's Mercury squaring Uranus, some kind of unexpected news, information coming from the workhouse, coming from the house of father and father figures. And with Pluto here, maybe a health of a father figure, but unexpected information or news coming to you. It could also involve legacy wealth. And it's also maybe connected to a career situation, like a work and job and career situation. And there is information that you didn't have a handle on. And it's a little bit unexpected. maybe it's an positive information because Venus is bonifying Mercury. And so you could have an unexpected raise, promotion, good news. They're going to move you up in a company. You thought the job was dead in the water. You get it. It could be an invitation for an interview, a chance to audition, something like that. So there's that kind of information, but it's a little bit out of the blue or unexpected. And that's around February the 5th. On February the 6th, Mercury will leave behind the Aquarius story and slide into the sign of Pisces, where he will hang out until April 15th. I know that does sound nuts, doesn't it? That's because of a retrogradation that happens around the 26th. So you're going to have literally all of February, March into mid-April with Mercury in your 11th house. What is it good for? Well, the North Node is increased. Mercury is commercial and monetary matters to do with trade, commerce, marketing, and selling. This is the 11th house of good spirit. It also can feel like windfalls or pennies from heaven. Something good is trying to happen. So there's an increase of volume up in the gains of your career. More money coming through financially connected to the energies of career matters, right? The gains of the career. Second house, 11th is second from the 10th. And the North Node, it increases or volumes it up, and Mercury rules your house of money, the money you have in your wallet, pocketbook, possessions, okay? This can only look good, in my humble opinion. Did I make it bigger somehow? I think I made my little arrow bigger, and I don't know what I touched to do that. How cool. I gotta figure out what I did on my mouse to make it big. But anyway, so I think this is a good financial increase for you, and it's quite significant in some way. It can be a windfall because Mercury rules the house of good fortune, where you can win some money, but it can also be about just money from your career suddenly taking a turn for the better in some way. And there's lots of ways it could play out because property, land, and real estate is ruled by the sun, and Mercury's just been with the sun on a Kazemi. So you could also sell a property and feel like you got so much money. It's like a windfall. That kind of thing could happen too. All right. So look for that exciting energy of Mercury moving into Pisces, and it'll be there glorifying your earnings and gains from your career, making you more social as well. It's good for social appearances. It's also good for being like on a microphone, on a podcast, getting in front of people and speaking to larger groups, getting more influence of messages you have to give the world, all of that stuff. It's really positive if you're an entrepreneur and successful entrepreneur at that. It can also increase your gains from your entrepreneurial business as well. And we're going to see that being a story for you, as I said, for a long time. Okay, so get ready for that. It's very positive, and it's going to get better. So that's February the 6th, and it doesn't end until mid-April. Now, on now we're moving into the second week. We covered the first. Now, on the second week of February, from about the 7th to the 14th, we're going to start off with another surprise. Mercury has already squared Uranus, and now Venus at the tail end of your 10th house squares Uranus. Everyone loves to make an unexpected surprise come your way. This is going to be active on the 7th and 8th and 9th, as Venus will be activating this square to Uranus. It could look like a very positive surprise connected to your reputation and your career. With Mars up here, it could be a wedding proposal. With Sun up here, it could be an unexpected positive surprise connected to career and home matters. Venus would like to deliver an office surprise, a perk in the a perk in the office, a perk in the career, a perk in the situation to do with your popularity at work, getting an award, a reward, getting recognition, getting a lucky job break. Okay. And we're going to say yes. Okay. Say yes to that. Especially good for applying for a job, taking an interview, or hearing you got a job might be February 7th, where there's a trine from the moon all the way to Venus as she squares Uranus. So proactively, you can say a job interview or a job application or a job success story on February 7th is pretty likely to happen here. Now, when we keep on moving on, that's the second square to Uranus. We got two more this month. As we approach the 10th of the month, you're going to see Venus then slide out of home base and move into your career gains where she's exalted. I don't know what to say. If you're a Taurus and you don't feel good about this, you're not listening to Venus, the Lord of your sign. She's your boss. She's got your back. She's in proximity to the North Node of increase, and volume up to your career gains, earnings, and money increases. Also popular appeal, celebrity status. Also more popularity with friends, more fun with friends, more joy with friends, destined new friendships showing up in your life. Maybe a windfall, maybe some pennies from heaven, maybe some win. Yes, buy a lottery ticket when Venus gets up here February 10th, okay? Now, she's not just leaving right away. She'll be there till March the 6th. So this is where money winnings or things that feel like hitting a jackpot financially can come through. She tends to favor for you money from your career and work situation. But with Mercury, he'd be just as happy to give you a lottery win. Take which one you want. It still looks good to me. Now, Venus up here can be love and romance exalted, but she's in the house of social groups of belonging and friendships. If you're a single Taurus looking for a relationship, start socializing. Get out there, especially, February 10th to March 6th. Go to parties, go to events, meet people, spend some time in social settings. Let your friends introduce you to somebody new. This is how you meet somebody, all right? Possibly in this kind of chart, if you're in the office space, a workspace, or whatever job you do, you might meet as a single Taurus some person you're going to be quite enamored by, and it's going to have a feeling of faded dust and love. But you'll meet them because you're involved in the work setting and they cross your path. They could be a customer, a client, or they could be a colleague. That's exciting for you singletons. It just doesn't really impact the married people. It just means you'll have more social time with your friends and enjoy your life a lot more. And maybe win some money if you're lucky for everyone. Then we move into the fact that we continue the story, and it looks like Mercury on the 11th and 12th gets into an action plan here with the North Node. Watch this happen. There he is, exactly conjunct the North Node on the 12th. Mercury's news, North Node is intensity, volume up, tends to represent worldly success. It can come through also Jupiter, who owns the territory. So exciting news from a sibling, aunt, uncle, cousin, neighbor, niece or nephew, where Jupiter's in the third house. Exciting news connected to travel opportunities and friends. Destined news, travel, friends. Exciting career gain news, information, worldly success in your career gains connected to travel, to brick and mortar businesses, to online businesses as well. Those are some themes I'm seeing here. Mercury represents commercial transactions, right? And so a commercial transaction, volume up, connected to third house matters. Third house matters are your neighbors, your neighborhood, your online social media landscape, your siblings. Good news, benefiting you from a sibling one older or a sibling one younger, also could show up this time, at this time frame. Okay, then Venus, and then Saturn will move on the 13th, 14th of the month and get into the sign of your, got to take us back by an hour. Get us into the sign of your 12th house. Now, Saturn's going to be here till 2028, so get a bit used to him here. Solitude is your best friend. Alone time is your best friend. Introspection is your best friend. You're going to go inward. This is a chance for some deep solitude that really rewards you, or introspective time that can be very good for you. It's good for putting a containment on addictions and self-undoing and be able to structure yourself and constrain your addictive impulses, especially conjunct Neptune. Throughout the second half of the month, February 14th to the end of the month, these two are hugging each other, and it brings a whole kind of containing addictions, go inward, solitude for dreaming and in meditation. You want to go into a spiritual place here. This is a spiritual journey for you, and it will be here for 3 years, where both Neptune and Saturn are co-present in your 12th house. Now, expenses and expenditures can come, as well as investments through the 12th house. Saturn will help contain your expenses. You'll be better at not spending money that you don't need to spend, for example. And it's also a great placement for you to be doing any creative, like music, photography, or any creative artistic endeavors in solitude, and being very happy in benefiting from those endeavors. Now, it starts to be feeling true to you mid-February, and it's going to last for 3 years. One other thing about this is it's going to be an exact conjunction coming up on the 20th, and we'll time it out in a minute. And that's also when it's game on. Like, this is just building up. Righty. Now we move into the next story. And this is only Saturn here every 30 years. So were you alive the last time it happened? Because then you could kind of go, Saturn was in my 12th house back in April of 96 to February of 99. However, not with Neptune. It's a whole new ball game. Looking for enlightenment? This is your first chance, last chance saloon. Now, as we continue past that ingress, And we're already in the 14th to 21st. We're in the third week of the month. We're going to talk about the third surprise. Sun will square Uranus. This is the third surprise. This will happen on the 15th, 16th of the month. And now you go, oh, surprise, another surprise. What is it? Okay, goodness gracious. Well, let's get us back to you, and then we'll tell you what it is. The sun here squares Uranus pretty exactly, right? You can see it's building up here on the 14th, but by the 15th and the 16th, you're really feeling it. So the sun is the ruler of your fourth house, homeland and property, but also legacy wealth from family of origin, and represents father figures from your family, grandfathers, great uncles, daddy-o, he's, whatever. So there could be some financial situations coming through connected to your father, or some surprises, because Uranus is on a wealth star algol, so you come into patrilineal line wealth from your family of origin. You could even be looking at this in a kind of the boss at work, completely father figure, authority figures, men and women, looks upon you with a positive dispensation of some surprise, because I can't see how with these gains in your 11th that isn't true. But pay attention to that time frame, all right? So there's that. And then we move into the next one, which is on February the 17th. Mercury is going to bring good news. Mercury always brings something information-wise, and Jupiter brings something good. And, Jupiter's exalted, and this is Mercury in his house. So Mercury's trying to do his bidding, Jupiter's bidding. So exalted good news coming from an elder sibling, one younger, exalted good news connected to career advancement, social groups, friendship circles, and windfalls connected to travel, learning, social media, local neighborhood establishments. This could be a learning opportunity. Jupiter in your third house could bring you got accepted at your favorite school. What good news. It would likely be more professional learning under this kind of sky, but you feel good about it. Whatever this news is, good news, destined, fated, positive energy coming your way. Let me know what happens on the 16th, 17th. On the 17th of the month, we have our solar eclipse in Aquarius. It's going to be at 28 degrees, takes you back to 2008, 2009, 1989 to 1991. However, Pluto was not in Aquarius, giving it a completely different vibration. This is an eclipse right here. Oh, it's going to be on the 17th. Trust me. Mars is co-present. You want to make some changes. You want to make some changes in your work. It's going to happen. The eclipse is fated, destined changes in your work that bring your greater financial gain, more fun socially, that increases your rewards, perks, and finances from the workspace and career space. All said and done, the eclipse is already in play as January begins. So by the time we get to the 17th, you're in the pre-window 6 weeks before. So you may already be making career changes. This is just the eclipse that tells you, yep, this is what we're doing. And it's going to bring you more success, more joy, more feeling like you hit the jackpot. So any career changes you make are going to level you up, not down. The eclipse is the eclipsing of a career and reputation zone of the sky, and there is a change. Now the sun is here, an eclipse to the sun, is a solar figure, and Pluto is death, and Mars is injury, accidents, or cutting. If you have a elderly father figure, the eclipse 6 weeks before the February 17th eclipse and up to 6 months after for sure could indicate the passing of a father figure in your life. I need you to know that. So be ready in case. On February the 17th, when this eclipse is happening, Venus is North Node conjunct. That simply means that you're going to find on the 16th, 17th, 18th, volume up, increase, feels like a windfall, jackpot, wealth, maybe, right? Also, a destined, fated new love story wants to come to you, or a destined new friendship wants to come to you. Okay, or a destined lottery win wants to come to you. February 16th and 17th. On February the 17th, no, did I do that? Yes, I did that. February the 20th, that's when the two planets here become exactly co-joined. Don't think about it as an important day as much as it's an important beginning. And so on February 20th, this is a game on for enlightenment, long distance travel. Some of you under the sky could indicate that you're looking for enlightenment. You might also get down with long game strategies for 3 years around creative artistic projects fueled from time alone. And know that alone time brings you into good places, and it's ideal for the end of an addiction. Permanently goodbye, forever, I'm done with you. That's what I see here. All right, then we move on to Venus is now bringing something good. First, Mercury said, good news on the 16th, 17th, trining Jupiter. Venus says, I can double down on that. I'm exalted. Jupiter says, I'm exalted. And there's a bit of an exaltation contest going on. So around the 20, let's move it there. No, back it up. There we go. You're not going to see the triangle, but you have to take my word for it. On February 23rd, Venus will sit at 16 degrees. So the 22nd, 23rd, trining Jupiter, and there will be a lunation in the middle of Taurus, exalted. I want you to think about February 22nd, 23rd as an exalted moment for you. You are going to be on top of the world, on top of your A game with positive surprises of some sort. It could involve matters connected to travel, social media, learning opportunities, could involve career opportunities, could involve opportunities with your health, with your career, and with your home life, including rental properties. And whatever this is, it feels really good. And an exalted moon, exalted Jupiter, exalted Venus, 3 very powerful planets piling up, change of home, change of neighborhood, change of rental. Okay, and a love story could come off of this, but you might be traveling or in a learning environment or in an office space for this love to gel. But it feels like a really good day or two. February 20, Rainbow and Unicorns, February 22 and 23 or so. Now we move into the 25th to the 28th. Mars will square Uranus. Mars and Uranus in a square. Well, again, we had this is the fourth surprise. Mars is invisible. Decisions you want to make to go in new directions that are shocking and outside the box connected to career and work. You're going to retire or quit your job in I don't know, Starbucks or in your engineering career, and you're going to go into rocket science or, dancing or something. There's a big shift here, and it is Mars in the 10th house of career. And so it can take you in a really radical new direction professionally. But the other energy is Mars is invisible and you can't really see him until mid-February. So although you might make decisions and know the new direction you're headed, you won't see evidence for it fully fleshed out until mid-March, most likely. Okay, I'm going to guess on that. And on the 26th of the month, retrogradation is happening of Mercury. So now we go back and revise and rethink something in our career gains, our long-range goals, wishes, and dreams, in our social networks and friends. Although friends from the past may reemerge in your life during the retrograde that you haven't seen in a long time, and those friends are reemerging will be between February 26th and March the 20th. So there's that regrouping, retrograding energy here. And so what I would say about February 26th retrograde is buckle up for a lot of people that in social networks and friends you may not have been connecting to, or an elder sibling you've been out of touch with, and reconnecting in information, communications, phone calls, and emails coming back to you. By the way, I should have mentioned February 25th to 28th, you could get fired or quit your job. Okay? But don't worry, with this stellium here, you're going to bounce right back to something better. Moving on to February the 27th, Sun now conjuncts the North Node. This is a third North Node connection. Mercury on the 11th of February and Venus on the 17th and the Sun on the 27th. The Sun is a ruler of home, property, land, real estate, legacy, wealth. North Node is volume up and increase. An increase in legacy wealth, an increase in something powerfully happening connected with worldly success to home and nest. Now, it is possible, I'm not saying it will be true, but Venus is a fertility goddess, exalted. Moon will be in Leo around the 28th. This is a fertility transit for some of you where you could conceive a child or a grandchild might be in the works for you. You might hear about that or learn that you're going to be a grandparent. So I'm going to give you that around the 27th or 28th. And then we move, especially with Jupiter in mid-July, moving into your fourth house, which means children in the home. Sorry, June 30th. And he'll be there for your children in the home. So a grandchild are coming. You're going to have children in the home. Moving on to the end of the month, on the last day, retrograde Mercury crashes into Venus on the 28th, the very last day, the very positive day. And I can't do it to show you. You just have to trust me. When these two are joined at 22 degrees on February 28th, though I did do it, look for good news connected to fertility, friends, windfalls, and career success matters financially. It's a golden end of the month for you. Thanks for listening, guys. Hopefully that wasn't too fast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Maybe I can get this timestamp for you. We'll see what I can do. See you guys in the next set of videos. See you around. There'll be a deep dive into the eclipse video. Welcome to my channel for all 6,800 of you who signed up in the last month. It's so great to have you here. Check out everything about me in the description box below and even join my members community here on YouTube. I'd love to have you.